How is everybody doing today? This is L.A. Kendrick, back with another tale from the vault of Would You Dare? From the shallows, you guys know how we do it. Definitely want to make sure that we cover all bases. And I actually was going to do a different topic today, but I'm not. I'm going to hold back and come later on with that. Because I want to talk about this UFO that buzzed Air Force One, okay? I thought that was kind of amazing, and I'm trying to get it while it's hot. So we're gonna take a look at some of the footage and some possibilities of and explanations of what they could be, and some images of things that we have shot down along with other countries, and I mean recently. Some have transmedium capabilities, which means they can go through land, air, water with the same frequency, with the same speed, velocity, and they do not change. I mean, just they can penetrate any of those environments, the three dimensions that we see as humans, or that that our environment is made up of, with no problems. And to my knowledge, we don't have anything like that. So they can accomplish those feats. So sit back as we dig into, and make sure that you grab a copy of my latest book, The Foes of God. Okay, it's sold on Amazon, Barnes & Noble's, Books A Million, everything. This is adult sci-fi. We tie everything that you're seeing and that I talk about here and what you're seeing in society out there as a whole, as far as the supernatural, extra-dimensional, paranormal, things that we discuss here. And remember, process this with a grain of salt, okay? Don't take this too seriously. Don't take it too lightly. Or however you process it, do it that way. We do one shot, one take, and then we move on, okay? We're not professionals at this. I'm just doing this for the fans that support me and follow me through the work. And I definitely I'm trying to give back. The new book that's coming out, the Wraith War for the Tenet Up Sci-Fi children. Great story, great storyline, great work that's done as well in that as well. So also, this is the first video that I've done for the New Year's. All right? And big shout out to Larry Turnley. May the universe receive you well. He always treated me like a son, and much respect to him, his passing. So with that being said, let's get right into it, all right? So I'm gonna do timestamps occasionally so I can speed up the process, and then I'll put the links in below. If you can't see, because some of this stuff is hard to see from the camera angle, so what I'll do is I'll post it in timestamps and in the links below. And YouTube fair use is for experimental, I mean not experimental, but educational purposes only. All right, let's get right into it. Give me a second here. All right, this is the first one. This is how it originally happened. So I'm gonna timestamp it up. All right, let's go.
See what that was?
Something. Hold on. What was
It's
it?
going in the opposite direction.
I'm gonna have to see the replay.
Flying
of that.
above.
Give us a yes. Give us a no. If you want to keep
This is the first
seeing
one.
this,
There it is.
keep seeing this.
There it was.
Amazing. Look at this. This is why Joshua is the best cameraman at LAX
We'll go to
in the entire
I'm
world.
gonna fast forward to the second one.
Give us a yes. Give us a no if you agree with that. Joshua doing his absolute best right now, sweating up a storm. His work. Right now. His work.
I had a hard time finding this one or seeing this one.
Right now.
Did they say that's where it was at?
Josh was spotting the UFOs today.
What a shot.
That's so far away, by the way. Look at that.
No, if I lose track of it, that's it for me. We won't be able to find it again. You can't see it with your naked eye. It's way too far.
So what do you guys think? Is it worth it? Zooming into the skies every few minutes? God, do we have anyone?
This is number 3.
Oh,
Yes!
And there it
What
is.
is
That's the
that?
third one.
Oh, that's it. Hold on a
that's one
minute.
of the things.
Is that it? Is that one of the UAPs that we've been talking about?
I'm kind of scared of looking at this.
Hold on a minute, guys. This is one of the UAPs that we've been looking at. Is this it, Josh?
You know, Peter, that doesn't look like... I'm not sure what that is.
Oh, he's sure.
Could it be a balloon? I'm thinking balloon.
Yeah?
Yeah, right. He don't
Yeah.
want
Or
that
are you just
smoke.
saying that to keep the certain
No,
authorities
really.
away? What do you guys think?
Unless it like
And it's
just
right there in this area.
zooms by or something. I'm thinking balloon.
Yeah. Okay.
What do you guys think? Do we have anyone?
Oh,
Yes!
what is that?
Oh, that's it. Hold on a
That's one
minute.
of the things.
That's... That's...
Okay, so I'm gonna jump out of that one, and I'm gonna go into weaponized. And this is episode 41. Like I said, these guys do an amazing job. Jeremy Corbell and George Knapp, which is this guy. George has been at this for a while. He's interviewed a lot of people when it comes to the phenomenon, which is classified as supernatural or paranormal, UFOs, a lot of stuff. So we're gonna jump right into his his partner, Jeremy. You guys check this out.
Downs, we could fill our audience in on some current events, very recent events that were either not reported at all or were misreported, and then give it some historical perspective as well. I dug up this headline from 1952. You recall the Washington, D.C. UFO overflights, very dramatic instances, 2 weeks in a row, flying over the White House, over Congress, Capitol Hill. Jets were scrambled. The Air Force comes out with a statement saying, "Move along, nothing to see here, folks. This was a temperature inversion, nothing more." The fact was that there was a Pentagon memo, and it was a headline back in 1952, "Jets keeping 24-hour alert for, quote, saucers." The subtitle was, "Pilots ordered to down objects if they don't land." The order was, shoot them down. You see UFOs, shoot them down if they won't land, which we don't know any that voluntarily landed. I know that in 1960, there was a front page story in the New York Times. UFOs are serious business. Again, the national policy for our Department of Defense was, if you encounter UFOs, intercept them, go after them, shoot them down if you have to. Now, we don't know what the policy is today, but we know that in February of this year, 3 objects were shot down.
This morning questions after more unidentified objects are discovered over U.S. and Canadian airspace. According to a senior administration official, this latest object was in the shape of an octagon, unmanned, and traveling near sensitive sites at an altitude of 20,000 feet.
One of them we know was a Chinese spy balloon. We don't know what the other 2 were, because supposedly nobody went out and tried to collect them. But it seemed to be the policy had changed again. What can we say about more recent events in other parts of the world involving the U.S. military?
Yeah, so I'm glad we're covering this UFO shoot down attempt issue, because people kind of really mocked me when when we were reporting that current day that UAP, same thing, UAP UFO, that they're being shot at. Everybody's like, oh, that's crazy. He can't just say that. Well, you and I have been privy to some information, so I want to talk through what leads us to kind of say that kind of thing. One of the things we should do is reflect back on the 2019 events, right?
West Coast.
Right, we should talk about that. We did a whole episode. I think it's episode number 2 of Weaponized. We had John Gutierrez on, and he was kind of, we were talking about this situation in 2019. We had witnesses on recording that were telling us kind of how that went down. What we were not clear about, I don't recall from that episode, was that there was attempts to bring down these, I'll call them units, these swarming of over 100 UAP on 10 Navy warships, but they were electromagnetic. They were things called like the Drake system or the Ghostbuster. These are kind of like, I guess, electromagnetic domes that are put over that stop these things in their track, or they're supposed to. The thing is on the USS Russell that was attempted, that to the best of my knowledge from sources, that's what I'm told, there were 5 times on these ships, there were different times where they tried to stop these incursions, right? This is not like shooting missiles or artillery, but they're firing at it with these electromagnetic weapons.
Under the assumption that they're drones. Is there some kind of standard, or maybe foreign drones operated by China or Russia or something like that, right?
Right, completely ineffective. Every time.
Didn't work.
Didn't work. And we've heard about that more and more and more with these swarm events. These swarm events have become so prevalent off of these destroyers and these craft that we're getting all these reports in. There's one I think we should highlight where there was absolutely attempts to down these UAP using these electromagnetic kind of weaponry, and that's we haven't talked about this publicly yet, but this is something that I hope we learn more about, and I'm sure people can find out more information on, so we're going to give them enough. 2021, late summer, off the coast of Japan is what I can say, a 300-mile radius of sea, no other ships, nothing around this vessel. It was the USS, you call it Milius. I'm going to be George Knapp here for a second. You taught me this a long time ago. You take your papers.
That's it. That's
Oh, okay, that's it.
Your top news tonight.
Yeah, the top news tonight is I'm going to go insane making the Lear film.
That's a newscaster move there.
Stack them on the table, newscaster, got my notes. Okay, so 2021, this is late summer, USS Milius. They had this event series that occurred where there were UAP that, just like the ballets that you saw around these Navy warships, but they're way out there. Nothing for 300 miles, and these UFOs are kind of like dancing. So it was really annoying. They tried to take them down using, I'll just say, these electromagnetic, techniques.
What is it?
Totally ineffective. Again, this is like a recurring, theme, is that they're immune. They seem immune to our
What are they,
electromagnetic
should I say?
warfare. So that's an interesting thing to begin with, but it happened for like 4 or 5 nights. And the thing that really hit me was that, from all accounts, when you talk about the captain of the ship and everything, it was so frustrating at some point that they said, wave off, forget about it.
Let me jump forward a little bit. Timestamp 1408. Okay, let me get you jump ahead. Let's get it. What's going to be 1409?
Throughout the UK and the world, it was reported that on the 14th of December, 2021, this is why I got my notes, I just want to make sure here. It was the 14th of December, over Syria, that there was, in quotes, a hostile drone that was shot by the Royal Air Force. It was shot at, I will say, by the Royal Air Force. It was, what's the type of ship again?
It was a Typhoon. Royal Air Force Typhoon.
Right, so that's the plane, a fighter plane. And I think the reason why it spread immediately the next day through the press and for the next 4 or 5 days is because this was the first air-to-air firing from the Royal Air Force in 40 years.
Since the Falklands War. Since the Falkland Islands War.
So it's a big deal, right? You fire $20,000 missile. Allegedly, we took it down. That's a big deal. So across the world, you can look this up. You can look at the news reports. Adversarial drone, right? They were real coy at first with what it was they actually shot, but then it ended up saying drone, adversarial drone. So that's the story.
It was drone, it was hostile drone, then it became terrorist drone. Although no terrorist group claimed responsibility for it, no nation claimed responsibility for it.
Time skip.
Are detecting these things. We know Russia and Syria have detected them because Russia and Syria have shot at them. We know
other
that
countries.
the Royal Air Force Typhoon shot at it, presumably knocked it out of the sky, but nobody went and go to collect whatever records there might be. We know that the U.S. military saw 2 of these things at the same time. One of them that the Royal Air Force went after, the other one just zipped away and took off and disappeared.
Right, so this image which we'll show, it's the one that was actually historically fired upon, which is called like a terrorist drone. It's really weird looking, whatever it is, but it is, again, it is classified as UAP within the intelligence community. This is not something that is identified. And so, should we show the image?
Now, let's see this drone.
Really bizarre.
Let's take a look at it.
Okay, so, I was making a joke and saying it looks like Kermit the Frog, but it's serious.
Now that's the drone image, right? You guys may not be able to see that too clearly because I can't see it too clearly. But what I'll do again, I'll put the link in there and you guys can go check it out for yourself. But apparently those are the 2 eyes or the top of the vehicle. That's why I say Kermit the Frog, and that's the body, okay? So very difficult to see even on my screen.
We call it the Syria Dome UAP, and whatever this device is, there were 2 of them, right? And by the time the Royal Air Force got up and caught up with them, and they fired a ASRAAM missile, which is I think it uses heat seeking. The other one,
Advanced Short Range Air-to-Air Missile.
advanced short-range air-to-air missile. So what happens is by the time they catch up with this pair that were there under intelligent control, this other one took off. It wasn't even in the vicinity. They did report that in the initial reports that there were 2 of them, but this is the one that was fired upon. Now we don't know if it was hit, we don't know if it hit the ground, but again, I just want to drive home. This is, the public's being told one thing. This is classified as a UAP within our government and within intelligence circles. So whatever it is, the public is not getting.
Well, I've seen a lot of images of drones, modern drones, military drones, private drones. I don't recall ever seeing a drone that looked like that. It looks like a mushroom cloud almost.
Yeah, it's a very bizarre. Yeah, it's got the. I mean, look, it's a far away image from one of these fighter planes, and look, I'm sure there's video out there.
Oh well, the public will probably see it, as given all the transparency there is now.
So let me read you a couple things that I think are important for the public to know. For the past 15 years in CENTCOM, U.S. forces have tracked unidentified airborne objects, also defined as unidentified aerial phenomenon, traveling in the vicinity of, bases, I'll say. No actors claimed ownership of these UAP, all jamming directed at UAP, assessed unsuccessful, and that we have not recovered a UAP in this time frame or in this area to date. Now, really makes me wonder. It makes me wonder. We haven't recovered anything, and that's a real issue. But we know it was testified to in Congress that we have these secret recovery programs for UAP. You have to imagine people want to get these if we are capable of shooting them down, go after them. It's not on mission to figure out who's operating them.
Yeah, see, it's dangerous. So in the press coverage, the news coverage of this incident, the U.S. military had detected these 2 things, and they said it was assessed as demonstrating hostile intent and was shot down. Okay. And then in that same combat zone, that conflict zone, drones have been used to deliver dangerous payloads aiming at U.S. troops and allied nations as well. You would think that if you shot a $20,000 missile at some unknown UA system or drone, mystery drone, you'd want to go out and see if you actually took it down. Look for wreckage and pick it up. Or if you're on a ship 300 miles off the coast of Japan, you're using the most advanced anti-drone system in the world, and you're not having much of an effect. You'd like to know why, because of the danger that somebody really could send a drone that's packing explosives and kill U.S. personnel.
Yeah, and also just the technology. So in 2019, when there were these swarms, I mean, I've even been able to find out that the helicopter pilots that went up, that they would see these things going into the water. And so if they have, whoever has this capability, you would imagine that the U.S. should be able to identify who this is. Another issue that I think is important to look at with this is
any rumors about Russia having a plane chasing a UFO and the plane crashing, in recent times.
Yeah. You're going to push on that, and I you know the same thing as me, but yes, we have heard that there was a recent downing of a Russian craft in pursuit.
Well, we don't have enough info to really report it just yet.
I don't think we do. I don't think we do, but it's something that has happened in the past, right?
Yeah, well, I can tell you for sure. I've reported it about Russia. The Ministry of Defense files that I obtained in the 90s, they had a standing policy to chase them, to intercept UFOs, to try to take them down. Colonel Borisokolov had told me that it's part of that 10-year-long study that the Russians did of the UFO mystery. 40 different times they sent warplanes after UFOs.
40.
37 of those times the UFOs just zipped away and were gone. But in 3 cases, the Russian warplanes crashed. 2 of those pilots died. And after that, the order went out in Russia, leave them alone. Because in the words of General Igor Maltsev, that commanded the Russian air defenses, the UFOs might have, quote, incredible capacities for retaliation.
That's big.
They changed their policy about shooting down UFOs back in the 90s.
Yeah. I'll tell you one last thing that I found interesting. There's no coordinated way to really deal with UAP. There's 2 options. That what we're seeing is either some kind of foreign technology or it's aliens.
Yeah.
Did he actually?
I actually thought that was a very positive thing because it essentially takes one option off the table. I don't know if he intended to do it, but he said it's either alien or it's a foreign power. But he takes off the third option, which is it's us, a secret program that we're developing.
Wow.
That seems to me to be, that's progress.
Now, I'm going to stop it there. Like I said, I'll leave all the links below so that you guys can get a better understanding. So, what do you guys think? And why has there been no update on Air Force One? I mean, come on, y'all. Do you agree with Jeremy and George? Go look at George and Jeremy's footage, or footage of them. These guys have been all over Congress, in there with the new laws, trying to make sure that we get transparency. They've been there. And it's been there with the whistleblowers, as a matter of fact. They're in the background. You can see them sitting behind those whistleblowers. And I mean, this podcast, it bangs. This world, this universe is mysterious as hell. You guys know that? But I believe the government knows more than they're saying for multiple reasons. However, when you keep certain important issues like this, and it's been rumored that they've gone so far as to transition people, you guys know what that means, to keep controlled secrets. National security is one thing, right? But this is crazy. And it's been, and this is why I say we are here with a grain of salt, or however you process it. Would you dare want to be caught in a plane above the skies dealing with this kind of thing? And see, there was a Japanese airline freight delivery that had a UFO even larger. You guys can go back and check that out. They were coming from Japan to Alaska, and this thing over Alaska, this thing was huge. But this is like a huge mothership. Let me shrink this down a little bit. I'm telling you, man, like, you really got to question, or you can really question what's going on. I mean, like, literally, things that we're seeing, and this stuff is amazing. So, I mean, and again, why has there not been any, why wasn't there a pursuit when those UFOs were swarming Air Force One? Or buzzing and flying by and playing tag with Air Force One? How could this is our president, right? This thing invaded public airspace. I mean, secure airspace. I don't know why I'm messing up so much today, but I'm tripping. I'm trying to figure this thing out. So you guys leave your comments below what you think. And like I say again, in closing, check your closet, check the dark recesses of your home. And if you work late at night, onto the wee hours of the morning, make sure you check in your car, under your car, around your car. Check it all, man. Be mindful of your surroundings, because you never, and also look up, because you never know what's lurking in the dark, waiting to make you a story, or, as they say, beam you up, Scotty. And this has been Elvin Kendrick with the final with another tale from Hollywood. Would you dare? Until next time, you guys be safe and fill in the rest.